Well, my friends, it's bright and early in the morning, and this water hydrant has gone kaput. It was leaking like a steady stream, like the size of your finger. It's not a drip, drip, drip. It literally was pouring water out. So I just took it apart, capped it off. I shut the water off. I didn't even have to cap it, but I capped it anyway. And now we're going to try to dig this up. The complicating factor is this is the well house right here. You can't see it. It's just off camera. And there's a line that comes down to this, and then I think the line comes out this way and goes over to another hydrant way over by the barn. But anyway, so I'm going to have to be careful as I dig. I think where I'm at there, if I dig up on this side and dig down, maybe I won't hit any water lines. It's just a total guess, and your guess is as good as mine. Will it work or not? Will I create extra work for myself, or will I get by halfway easy, even though this ain't easy? Let's see. So far so good. I got a pretty good hole there. I think I'm deep enough. I widened it just a little bit on the top to give me some room to work. I'm gonna have to get in there with a shovel now and undo the rest and see if I can figure out where the damage is. Well, here's a view of the hole, and I've got to get down in there. So here goes nothing. Hopefully I can find the pipe, and I'm just gonna dig right down along. Wow, I got right next to it. Boy, I did all right. I got right next to it. So I didn't hit it, but I got right next to it, and that's the best news I could have had. And there's the bottom of it already. So far, not bad. Oh my gosh. I don't think I ever got that lucky before on one of these. So maybe it's good I turned the camera on. Well, I thought it. Yeah, I'm sure I'm at the bottom, but I haven't seen the white pipe yet. There it is. Starting to see some of it now. You know what I think I can do now? I'll go ahead and chop it loose from the dirt here. I think I can unscrew this thing. Now I'll have to get a pipe wrench, unfortunately. I guess I'll have to clean it out a little bit down here at the bottom where I can get the pipe wrench on. Let's just see if we can do the easy thing first and just unscrew it. Yeah, one time we got lucky. It's just going to unscrew. I'll take that. Now I just want to get the dirt out of here so it doesn't fall down in the pipe too much. Mud just keeps wanting to fall right where the pipe is, of course. But I'm getting it out of there. I think I got it out. I think we'll be clean, or fairly clean. All right, it's off. There you go. I got lucky. Now we'll take all this up to the shop and hopefully rebuild it, come back and put it back on. Well, excuse the air conditioner noise, but it's hot and that's going to stay on. So the next thing I've got to do is clean this pipe up. I've already scraped the mud off of it and I washed it off in the sink, but I'm going to wire brush it all and make sure that it's going to be solid, because I don't want to do all this work and then have to replace the pipe later. So here we go.
Wayfaring stranger, traveling through this world of woe. There is no sadness, no toil, no danger, and that bright land to which I go. I'm going there to see my mother.
The pipe has got some pitting in it, there's no doubt, but I don't think it's serious enough that we have to replace it. I think we can go with this, and I'm going to paint this with this rust converter paint, and I think that'll help a lot, and then maybe give it another coat of spray paint on top of that. Well, I'm going to be using this rust converter on that pipe. I get this off Amazon. It's on the products I use page of my website, www.rosastringworks.com. I've been very pleased with this so far, and I think it'll work fine on this as well. So it doesn't take very much either. A little bit goes a long, long way. So just pour a little dab in here, and it's really just a dab, trust me. And then we'll just drench the brush in it and just slop it on. You don't really have to get real precise. It'll just go right on, no problem, and it dries fairly quickly, and it'll turn this pipe black. Even though it goes on kind of a milky clear, in just a little while the pipe will be black. And I just want to make sure I get 100% coverage. I think we've got it all the underground covered. To double check it here. Little bit, like I said, goes a very long way. And I think we're good. I'm just worried about the below ground area. The top of it's galvanized and it seems to be holding just fine. I'll put the rest of my converter back in the jug. That's why I poured into a plastic container like this, because I can conform the container to fit to the top of the jug and just pour it right back in. And then this converter is very easy to clean up with water also. Just literally water is all you need. I do use a little bit of dish soap just to be real clean, but water is all it takes, and it's very simple. While that's drying, I thought I'd go ahead and take this cap off. I put this cap on there, probably didn't even need to do that. I just did it for general purposes, I guess. Didn't really need it, I don't think. Let's see if I can get some cooperation with it coming off, though. It would be kind of nice. And of course, it's going to play hardball. There we go, finally. All right. for the record, this is what it's supposed to look like. I put this new piece on there. It wouldn't go down through here and make it work though yesterday. This is what came off. And you can see it's basically the same thing without the rubber. And this had a little bit of rubber in this ring, but that's the only rubber that was left. All the rest of the rubber was gone. Anyway, we have to make this operate, this hydrant now. And quite honestly, I don't know how difficult that's going to be. It might be very difficult. I think I'm just going to start by taking this apart so I can inspect it down here and probably just put it in my vise. And pipe's still, that liquid is still wet on there, so kind of nice if that was dry, but there we go, it broke loose. Got lucky. I just want to take it apart to see what's going on. There may be something clogged up down there, or it may be corroded, or I just don't know. The pipe itself should be hollow all the way through. I don't see anything in the pipe as I look down it, so I think we're good. So I would imagine the problem is in this area, and it looks like it is. I can see stuff in there, and that stuff in there don't quite look right. In fact, I think that's the rubber that broke off. I think it got corroded and stuck in there. So let me see if I can get that out. So I'm reaching in here, grabbing this rubber, and pulling it out of here. Yep, that's the culprit right there. See how bad that looks? You can tell that was the problem. And there's more crud down in there too. So we'll just clean all this out and we should be good to go. What I think I'm going to do is wash this out and get in there with some light sandpaper or something and make sure it's all smooth and clean. Well, I got this brass fitting cleaned out real nice, washed it all out, and now I'm just taking this like 600 sandpaper and I'm just rubbing around on all the seating surfaces that, you know, seat, and I'm going around in a circle so that I don't leave any lines going up and down this way where the water could leak out. And the same way, there's two different seats on this. There's a side seat and then there's a bottom seat. So now I'm going to try to get to the bottom seat. I think that's probably good. Definitely better than it was, that's for sure. Get in there and wipe those off now and see how clean they look. Yep, it looks good. So I think we're ready to go back together, believe it or not. I'll put some tape on this. I tried this tape yesterday. I don't know what, I'm not familiar with this tape. It's PTFE tape. It's sealed that cap really well, so I'm just going to use it and seal this bottom now. Seems a little different or a little better than that Teflon stuff. So now that I got the tape on there, and if you notice how I put that tape on there, you put it on so that it, you know, as you screw this on, it actually turns the tape on more. That's the way you need to put it on. You got to put it on the same direction that you screw this cap on. And it's going on. Now I'll put this back in the vise and tighten it up. I don't think it's going to leak. That's pretty snug. I'm going to get a little bit of oil and put on this. I've got some of that Be Good oil, which is just beeswax and oil, or vegetable type of oil. It's not vegetable oil, but anyway, it's a food safe oil. And I'm just going to put some of that on here, and I think that'll make that nice and slick going down through there. So this Be Good wood oil, this is for, I use it for oiling fingerboards on guitars, mandolins, violins, etc. But it's really good for treating any kind of bare wood or anything like that. Now, you can't put a finish on it after you put this on there because it's got a wax in it. But it's good for something like this too, because it'll make it slick and it's not toxic. So I'm just going to smear a little bit of this oil around on this end, and hopefully that will help it all go down in there and seat up without, you know, creating any scratches or cuts or anything on this rubber. You just insert this plunger down through here. This is what I should have been able to fix without having to dig it up. I should have just been able to do this exact same thing you're seeing me do right here. And then it goes down in there like that. I think it should be seated. Nope, it doesn't quite look like it, honestly. Try tapping it on it, see if it goes down a little bit more. There it goes. Yep, that's it. Now it's down in there where it needs to be, I believe. Yep, it's sealed right to the bottom. That's where it needs to be. I don't know if you can see the little rubber cap in there shining. That's down at the very bottom, and that's the way it needs to be. And that's really good that I put that oil on there, because I think that helped it a lot. Okay, so now we're ready to reinstall this baby. Or I should say put the head back on it. And once again, I'll put some of that tape on this. I'll clean this old tape off first. I kind of like this PTFE tape. I don't really know much about it, but it seems to be good stuff for this kind of purpose versus the Teflon. I guess it is a type of Teflon. It probably is, but it's got more to it or something. I didn't look it up to see anything about it. I'm just telling you what I know, which ain't much. And I'm going to show you the way to wrap something like this. You see how it's coming off the roll off of this edge? Well, off of this edge here. So you turn it upside. It's backwards to what most people would think. But by doing it this way, you can control it. It won't roll away. It won't get away from you. You can control it perfectly. And then you can just spin your pipe and pull it off. It's a real good way to put tape on something like threads like this. Instead of going the other way, which most people would do, this will definitely make your job a lot easier. And I think I'm ready. I don't want to rush myself here, but I think I'm ready to go ahead and screw this on. So I think I'm going to. I got 3 rubber O-ring washers in this deal, and these get cupped down in here, and that keeps it from leaking out this top pole. So I'm going to put this Be Good oil on these O-rings also. And somehow, some way, right here, oh there it is, it went on top of the Be Good oil. I'm going to say I lost one of them. I don't see how I lost one, but it stuck to the Be Good oil. I got to do it in the proper order. Got to put this on, start this on, then do this stuff. Now I got to put these on. There we go. That's better. All right. And now this piece here locks those O-rings down, so I'll put this on next. Push the O-rings down in there and hopefully get this to thread back on. It's a little complicated. It ain't simple, but it ain't rocket science either. I don't know if there's supposed to be 3 of them in there or not, but Sure seems like it's hard to get 3 of them down in there. I got a little hook screwdriver. I'm going to see if I can force these O-rings down in here with this screwdriver. They're just playing hard to get along with, but I think they'll go. If I can get them down in there just a little ways, then I think I can get the threads started and compress them then. There we go, got some, made some progress there. It seems like one side doesn't want to go. There we go. I think I can get a thread started now. That's all I need. If I can get a thread started, I can get this to work. Yeah, I think I got it started. Okay. Keep getting all that oil all over my hands. Looks like this got started crooked to me. I'm going to take it back out and try it again. That looks straighter. Yeah, that's straighter. Alright. Anytime you look at your threads, if they don't look straight, just take the extra time and make them straight. You'll have more trouble. And now, hopefully, I can force this down on here a little bit more and start the actual pipe threads. Yep, looks like I can. I think we're cooking with gas now. Now I still have to rig up the rest of this rig, and I know how to do that, I think, so should be okay, I think. Although it might be a order of operations thing. I might not have it, might not be doing it in the proper order. These 2 rings here have to hook on this little jobber here, so now I got to get that on there, and hopefully that'll let me do that. Might have to loosen some things up. There we go. I think I might have got one. Yeah, I got the one on. Now that'll hopefully give me enough room to get the other one on, I'm hoping. No, don't look like it. This side here, for some reason, is a lot harder. It's a lot closer. I may have to take this little screw off the top and do this a different way. I'm probably going to have to back up, take it apart, and put it all together as one assembly. Well, I just went ahead and took all this apart. I'm sure it's going to be a lot easier. I'm noticing these are a little bent, so I think I'm going to straighten them out a little bit here with a hammer. And they were already bent. I didn't bend those. But anyway, now let's see. There's a big hole and a little hole. Now the big hole goes to the top of the handle like this. And so I putting the handles on like this. These big holes go over the little protrusions there. Then I need to get these on here at on both sides of the little lifter part down here. I don't know why those are being hard to play with. I've done this many times before, but on camera I guess it just says nope, ain't gonna make it easy on you. I've actually done this a lot, so I know how to do it. It just ain't cooperating. It's like everything keeps bumping. I don't have it tightened down yet, and I think the rod's a little long, and that's causing me trouble. It just won't cooperate. There it is. Finally. Finally. Now I can poke this through one of these holes, I hope. There we go. All right. We're cooking with gas now. We can lock this up. All right, it's basically together. Now it just has to be adjusted and all that. And of course I have to tighten all this up first. So let me tighten it all up. I'm going to got the pipe and the vise. I'm going to go ahead and tighten this all down.
She'd meet me when I come home. I'm just going over Jordan. I'm just going over home.
Now we'll put a little bit more pressure on those O-rings, not a lot. And then with this down, which I think it's down all the way already, I'll pull it up just a hair and I'll tighten up this little adjustment screw. This is what changes the length of that shutoff. I'll put just a teeny bit of pressure on that shutoff. You can always adjust this later, but I'm just putting at least a little bit of pressure on that, so that when we shut it down, the rubber is pushed tightly. So that should work. It should all be finished, ready to go back in the ground. Okay, we're about ready to put this back on. Show you that I did also paint this too. So after I put the black stuff on there, now let's see. I'm going to wrap this with this tape. I'll stop right there. That's pretty darn tight. The only difference this time, this is leaning this way, and I'm going to try to get it to stand a little straighter up. So I'm going to dig out a little bit of this on this side. If that would just be easy. That'll hold it. And I'm going to get some gravel and throw in around the bottom down here, because there's a weep hole. When you close this off, the water weeps out of this pipe. That's what keeps it frost free. But you need gravel around that, otherwise, you know, it won't go nowhere. So I'm going to throw quite a bit of gravel in there, maybe a bucket full or something. Well, for the record, I turned the water back on, and so far no leaking. So it looks like it's working. I haven't tested it to see if it actually turns on yet, so let's see if it turns on. So I'll see if water comes out when I pull the handle up. Yep, no problem. Does it shut it back off? That's the question. Maybe not. It looks like it's still dripping a little bit. But that's an easy fix, I think. It's an easy fix if you have the right wrenches handy, but I don't, so I'll have to go get some wrenches and come back and fix that. This should just be a simple adjustment. And, you know, famous last words and all that. So I just need to loosen this little set screw and push and lift this up just a little bit, like so. And now tighten this down, and hopefully when I push this down now, it'll shut it off. Yep, it shuts it off. So it's fairly simple to do these things if you know how to do them. And I do know how to do these. Unfortunately, it just wouldn't cooperate from above ground like it should have. It should have been a very simple fix. But I do think we've got it completely fixed. And the weep hole is working. I can see the water weeping out. So I might leave it like this for a day just to make sure there's no leaks going to spring up. Well, my friends, I guess that's going to be it. We were able to fix the little plunger and repair the pipe and do all those good things. It should all be fine now.